Hello, welcome you all in this session of history, and it is the second chapter from NCRT of class 8. Okay, and it's a very important chapter. It's the first chapter from where the modern Indian history begins. Okay, actually, in this chapter we are going to discuss about the establishment of companies, and these companies were from European continent. Okay, and that were the British East India Company, Portuguese East India Company, Danish, Franceses. Okay, so all this will be discussed in this chapter, and also we will see how the British East India Company led to the foundation of its territory and its reign in India, and how it gained control over the Indian economy. Okay, so all these things will be discussed in this chapter. Before I start the chapter, I would like to request you all, please make comment, share and like, subscribe the the channel, so that you could get the latest videos. Okay, and share it among your friends also. So let's begin the chapter. Dear students, it's a very important chapter. As you know, in the competitive examination there are many questions from the modern India. Okay, modern Indian history. Okay, so you should be very careful about this chapter. From here, in this chapter we will see how the companies establish their reign. Okay, their control, how they gain their control. So moving forward, let's start the chapter. First of all, we will see the coming of East Indian companies. What? East Indian companies. First of all, I will give you the preface. Okay, I will give you the summary that we will see in this chapter. Okay, so East Indian Company, arrival of East Indian Company, and these companies would be, first of all, the Portuguese. Who? First of all, the Portuguese, and then after I am writing the dates also. Okay, means when they came to India, then it would be 1498. Okay, then after the British. Okay, British East India Company, its arrival in India is 1600. Then after we will see arrival of Dutch East India Company. It would come in India in 1602. Then after we will move to Danish. You know, Danish means Denmark. I am writing here Denmark. Okay, so Denmark, it is here. Okay, Denmark, it will come in India in 1616. Then after we will move to the next, it will be the next company, French. Okay, French. Okay, and it came in India in 1664. Then after we will move to the last company, that will be the Swedish. Okay, Swedish means Sweden. Swedish East India Company will come in India in 1731. So this is the sequence of the European companies that came in India. Okay, so it's very important. Sometime in examination it is being asked that what is the sequence of arrival of the European countries in India. Okay, so you can observe from here, first of all Portuguese, then after British, then after Dutch, then after Danish means Denmark, they belong to Denmark. Okay, French means France, and Swedish means Sweden. So okay, these are the companies, foreign companies, are the European companies that came to India in term of trade. Okay, for what purpose they came to India? For making trade. Okay, their main aim was to make trade with East Asian countries. Okay, so moving forward, we will see the establishment of British East India Company. British East India Company, I will write EIC in shortcut. Okay, East India Company, establishment of British East India Company in India. Okay, in details. Then after we will move further. We will see the next topic. It would be the Battle of Plassey. Okay, Battle of Plassey. Okay, and it was fought on 23rd of 23rd of June 23rd of June 1757. Then after we will see Battle of Plassey, and then after Battle of Buxar. Okay, Battle of Buxar, it will be on 22nd of October 1764. Okay, along with this we will also see the battles with the French company, with the other European companies of British East India Company. Okay, along with this we will also see the first Carnatic War, the first Carnatic War that was fought between French and the British East India Company in 1746 to 1748. It was a long battle fought between British and France. Okay, and the second battle would be Second Carnatic War. Okay, the Second Carnatic War, it will be fought between 1749 to 1754. Then will we move forward, and it would be the Third Carnatic War. The Third Carnatic War, and it will be fought from 1756 to 1763. So you have to also remember the sequence of these war. Okay, in many competitive examination, okay, it has been asked many times that what was the sequence of the three Carnatic war that were fought between British and France, and there it has been asked many times that what was the actual time period. Okay, so first 1746 to 48, then after 1749 to 1754, and then after 1756 to 1764. All these battles, okay, you can see all these battles were fought along with the time duration of this Battle of Plassey fought in 1757. This also Carnatic War just after 3 years of Second Carnatic War. Battle of Buxar just after 1 year of the Third Carnatic War. Okay, so all these are also important in the Indian history. Okay, so after discussing these things, we will come to the another point. Yes, we will come to the another point, that how British further expanded its territory, that is British East India Company further expanded its territory in India. Okay, so in term of expansion of its territory in India, East India Company of British fought many more wars, like first war of Anglo and Mysore. Okay, Anglo-Mysore. Okay, it was fought from 1767 to 69. Okay, from 67 to 69. So it is also important. First Anglo-Mysore War. Okay, then after Second Anglo-Mysore War. Okay, Second Anglo-Mysore War, it was fought from 1780 to 84. Okay, then after third Anglo-Mysore War, third Anglo-Mysore War, okay, it will be from 1792 to 92, and the fourth would be in year 1799. So all these were fought with Mysore. Okay, means the one side, one party was the British East India Company and another was Mysore. Okay, Anglo means British. So first, second, third and fourth. Okay, so these were the four consecutive wars that were fought among between British and Mysore. First was 1767 to 1769, 1780 to 84. Okay, then after 90 to 92, and then after in 99. So here we while discussing this thing, we will also see about Tipu Sultan. Okay, one of the great ruler of India. We will see Tipu Sultan's history. Okay, so moving forward, more battle we will see of British that will be the with the Marathas. Okay, which we call the Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, so first Anglo-Maratha War would be first Anglo-Maratha War. It would be in year 1775 and 1782. Okay, so it run for a very long time now. You can see here from 1775 to 82 means approximately 7 years it was fought. Okay, second it would be the second Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, second Anglo-Maratha War from 1800. Okay, in 1800. So moving forward, here we will see about the Sindhia, okay, and Balaji Peshwa Bajirao also. Okay, so we will discuss about the history of these members, these rulers of India, and then after in last we will see about the third. Yes, you can see here third Anglo-Maratha War. Anglo-Maratha War, which was fought between year 1817 to 1817 to 1818. Okay, so these war were fought. Listen here. This, okay, and then after these four consecutive wars, and then after these three consecutive wars, and here you can see these three consecutive wars. So all these wars were fought against British by different. Okay, it was France, and it was the Nawab of Awadh and Bengal, and thereafter the Mysore. Okay, Mysore means Tipu Sultan. Here we will see. Okay, and last it would be the Anglo-Maratha War that British will fought with Marathas. Okay, then after moving forward, the new topic would be is moving forward. We will see about the first Anglo-Sikh War. Okay, first Anglo-Sikh War. Okay, Anglo-Sikh War. It was fought between 1845 to 46, and the second Anglo-Sikh War will be fought between 1848 to 49. Okay, so these were the major battles that were fought in India in term of establishing its territory, its control over India, and we will see two doctrines that British applied, the doctrine of lapse, the doctrine of lapse, okay, by Lord Wellesley, okay, Lord Wellesley, okay, and Lord Wellesley. Second would be the doctrine of subsidiary alliance, okay, the doctrine of subsidiary alliance, okay. So all these things we will discuss in this chapter. Actually it would be Lord Dalhousie. Doctrine of lapse was introduced by Lord Dalhousie, okay, and it was Lord Wellesley. I got something in problem, okay, Lord Wellesley. So okay, so we will see about these two topics. So we have seen how many wars have been fought by the British. Now it's the turn to know what was East India Company, why these foreigners came to India, for what purpose, and why British East India Company was fighting these war which we have seen here, okay, like Plassey, Buxar, Carnatic wars, Anglo-Mysore wars, Marathas, and with Sikhs, okay. So we will see in this chapter what was the problem. Actually I have given you the whole summarization of this chapter, and the concept that we will discuss in this chapter, and also I have given you the important deadlines. You should always remember that the sequence of companies, okay, of coming in India, the sequence of companies upcoming in India, the sequence of the battles that were fought in India by the British, okay, and then after, it is very important to you know, okay, you should all know about this thing. Moving forward, we will see British East India Company, much about it because it's very important. It finally British East India Company got successful in establishing its control over India. Okay, remaining were defeated by it, and they were unable to expand their territories in India. Okay, so first of all, we should know what is East India Company. Okay, what is the concept of East India Company? So company East India Company was nothing but it was a group of members. What it was? Group of members, you can say group of merchants. Okay, merchants. Merchants means the people who used to make trade with other countries. Okay, so British East India Company was also a group of merchants which came to India in term of trade. Okay, came India for making trade. So its main theme was to make trade with India. But when it came India, it sees observed some problems here, and slowly it get control over India. Okay, so British East India Company, you can write here, British East India Company was permitted by Queen Elizabeth to make trade with East Asian nations. Okay, permitted by Queen Elizabeth of England, okay, or Britain, you can say Elizabeth of England, to make trade with East Asian nation. What? East Asian nations. Okay, East Asian nations. So you know all these were the European countries, and Asia is another continent. So these got permission to make trade with East Indian nation. Okay, so all is about the chapter, and in the next video we will see about how British East India Company develops its reign over India, and what the major battle it fought. Okay, thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope that you have learned all the battles that were fought by the British East India Company, and for what purpose it came to India. Okay, so in the next video we will see forward how British East India Company establishes its territory over India. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.